The Blueprint Development and Poverty Town Hall Tour is coming to a location near you. My name is Dr. Takima Dorsey, and I am the founder of Breaking the Cycle of Poverty in Baltimore City, Baltimore County, and the state of Maryland for 2024. Why the Blueprint Development and Poverty Town Hall Tour? You're wondering? Because poverty is an issue that impacts people every day, whether it is masked as transportation, unemployment, food, a lack of job skills, education, generational curses, lack of access to funding, lack of anything. At the end of the day, it does have a valid term, and it is poverty. Poverty impacts everybody living and those that are no longer here, unless they were born into, as we know it to be, a silver spoon in their mouth, where they were born into money, right? Or but even people that have money can have impoverished mindsets because they don't know how to spend their money wisely. But poverty impacts parents, single parents especially, homeless, veterans, foster families, foster students, young adults, old, you name it, people are impacted. And it's not a inner city thing. Currently in Baltimore County, the poverty level sits at about 9.9%. That's roughly about 82,000 people, give or take a few hundred. In Baltimore City, the poverty rates sit at about 23%. That's a couple 100,000 individuals. In 2022, the poverty level for the state of Maryland was 131%. And Maryland is not even one of the states with a high poverty level. The point is, poverty is an impact, a term, it is a verb that people are dealing with every day. And as opposed to talking about something that makes people uncomfortable, we typically move away from it. So I decided that I wanted to take on poverty about 6, 7, 8 months ago, and created a year-long slate of activities. And the Blueprint Development and Poverty Town Hall Tour is important because people are struggling. Yes, they are struggling in transportation. They are struggling in getting a job. People are struggling with food. People are struggling with finances. And all of those things are important to individuals. But it goes deeper than that. Because even if a person is given a job, they might not have the training or the tools needed, the soft skills, hard skills, communication, advocacy to be successful. If a person is given a home, they may not know how to balance their bills or a paycheck or any of those things. So every little piece of the systemic approach that's going to help people tackle head on this thing called poverty, it can only help improve our society. So the purpose of the Blueprint Development and Poverty Town Hall Tour is for people to be able, is twofold. One, people will have an opportunity to voice for them what matters, whatever has gotten them to where they are, or their loved ones, regardless of their age, titles, degree. It's just a dialogue, a town hall about a topic that is negatively impacting them in their lives. The second part of the Blueprint Development and Poverty Town Hall Tour is actually knowledge and practical application. And this is the home run. This is the touchdown. This is the national championship. No, Don Staley is not the coach. I am. But it still has that same impact. Because when you're able to take on topics and share the knowledge that a first, second, third grader can understand, and make it practical where people can now walk away and apply it, then that's a win. We know as adults sitting in professional development half the time, most of us not even paying attention. So to be able to provide hands-on training, and the biggest part of this tour is the individualized plans that people will walk away with. And individualized, customized plans mean that it could be 5 people in a row, and every single person is going to walk away and develop a plan according to them. And so when I'm thinking, so our targeted audience for this Blueprint Development and Poverty Town Hall tour are middle and high school students, parents, whether you're a 2-parent or single parent, veterans, organizational leaders, for-profit, nonprofit, homeless students, or those that work with homeless individuals, foster parents, you name it, this tour and this conference is for you. The best thing that, although poverty and the impacts of poverty are negative, and we could forever talk about the topic, but leading up to this tour, I want people to remove the word poverty and just look at it as a great training opportunity to get more information that's going to be relevant to them, which is why our targeted audience is so diverse. I believe that the best solution remains first and foremost in free educational opportunities. Education, like transportation, like unemployment, like a lack of job training, is a caveat to destruction, but it's also a bonus to the solution. And the dates for the Poverty Town Hall kicks off at the CCBC Randallstown Campus, April 27th through the 24th. Then we go into CCBC Essex, May 4th, Catonsville, May 11th, Owings Mills, May 18th, Dundalk, May 24th, and Hunt Valley, May 29th. But when I'm thinking about, or when people think about why there is such a gap that could lead to impoverished mindsets or poverty in general, is around education. And not just K-12 education. We're talking higher education. We're talking skilled. We're talking non-skilled. We're talking certifications. We're talking trade. And in today's society, even pre-pandemic, this education system was upside down. People didn't have money to go to school. People didn't have didn't know the process how to get in school. People with disabilities or limitations in education learning, they were afraid or fearful or embarrassed to go to school. But without access, what this boils down to, even business owners that have launched a business, that are trying to grow a business or even scale their business, there is an educational component that is missing for people to break through these barriers. And so, no, I'm not getting paid for this, but this is a part of my programming for the Blueprint Development and Poverty Town Hall Tour. And it is centered around free educational opportunities. Now, obviously, when you hear free, there's going to be a criteria that people must meet. But because there are multi-levels to the free educational opportunities, there's no way in this short talk that I'm going to get through it all, which is why I need people to either get to our first kickoff on April 27th if you're in anywhere near the Randallstown campus, or Essex or Catonsville or Owings Mills or Dundalk or Hunt Valley, to make sure that you're in the room to hear about these opportunities. And so here we are. Our Blueprint Development Tour will have a representative from CCBC on as a part of our workshop presenters and will be there for on-site registration that day. Yes, on-site registration to enroll, whether you're a business owner looking for a class, you're a parent that needs to go back in and brush up on a skill, or just an individual looking to start a business, launch a business, continue in education. But not only adults, but as well as our young adults. Right now, there are dual enroll programs, which is called ECAP, that students are not taking advantage of. Parents are unfamiliar with it. People think, or there's a myth that they cannot afford it. Well, I want to demystify that thought, that theory, that lack of belief. And if you don't believe, if you're unfamiliar, if you're unsure, if you're ignorant to the knowledge, I need you to register for the Blueprint Development and Poverty Townhall Tour so that you can be in the room to hear of all of the wonderful opportunities that CCB has to offer from a free tuition standpoint. Now, my goal is not to get into this in depth, but it is an opportunity that will get people, or have the possibility to get people out of impoverished mindsets. No, and it's not going to be overnight. No, it's not going to be, but you don't have to be in school for 2 years. You don't even necessarily have to be in school for a year. What I love about CCBC, and no, I'm not being paid to promote it, but CCBC is a partner in this initiative. And I actually approached Dr. Curtinitis to partner with CCBC for 2 reasons. One, CCBC in Baltimore County has 6 campuses, hence why we're holding the Blueprint Development and Poverty Townhall Tour at each one of those campuses. But then second, because of what's known as the College Promise Act. And that is for people 18 and over. But for students under the age of 18, there is the program of the dual enrollment, or ECAP, that's free to students that attend Baltimore County Public Schools. And the thing about this, the CCBC tuition-free initiative, is that education is not something that can be overlooked when we're thinking about getting out of poverty. It's not. Or closing the gaps in the employment gaps, or closing the gaps in terms of belief in self and self-esteem and things to that magnitude. So my youngest two kids enrolled as dual enrolled students in the ECAP program. My daughter right now, that is a sophomore in college, this should have been her senior year in high school, but she skipped a year. So she graduated a year early, and she took enough credits that allowed her to transfer those credits into her first year at Spelman, which at that point, as opposed to doing her freshman year, she went in as a sophomore. So at 17, she's a rising junior. And because of the customized blueprint that I developed with her through my programming, she was able to take courses that not only satisfied part of her high school diploma, but those courses in her major and interests beyond college, into her career, that gave her a very strong foundation. So at 17, she's a sophomore and a rising junior. But the greatest benefit coming out of being a dual enroll and ECAP student, when she transferred to her school, we saved roughly about $60,000 because she took courses at her local community college, which was CCBC and was free. My youngest son, who is graduating high school in 2 years because of his customized blueprint that I developed with his interests. Is he actually is a dual enrolled student. He started CCBC at 14, fresh out of middle school. And I developed his plan where his goal was to graduate high school in 2 years. He was a ninth grader last year. He's a senior this year. When he graduates on June 8th, he will graduate with his associate's degree on June 1st from CCBC. That means that he has earned at least 60 credits that will now go off with him in the fall to Morehouse College. And we're saving roughly about $130,000 in tuition because of his transferable credits and him graduating with an associate's degree. So, and not only is he graduating high school in 2 years with an associate's degree, he's majoring right now as a senior or as a student through Baltimore County Public Schools as an engineering major, which that's what he has always wanted to do since middle school. He'll go off to college as an engineering major, but he's been able to not only knock out a small number of courses for his high school diploma, but his other courses have set a foundational and an advanced opportunity for him in math, as well as English, as well as a couple of other subjects, so that when he does transfer to his next level at Morehouse, he'll probably go in as a second semester sophomore or a first semester junior, saving about $130,000. But he's also has those foundational principles that would allow him to be a competitor in his field of interest right now, and even as a business owner. So when we're looking at the joys of how to prepare and hopefully not have our youth to young adults enter that poverty level, the educational values that our local community college, and again, I'm not being paid for this. This is something that I literally live by and know the benefits on the other side. It is something that not enough parents are familiar with. Not enough just people in general are familiar with what CCBC has to offer. So if we're looking to really close this gap, improve economic conditions, socioeconomic status, break generational curses, improve self-esteem, self-confidence, belief in self, then not only do we need to address the elephant in the room, we got to provide solutions. And on April 27th at the Randallstown campus, May 4th at the Essex campus, May 11th at Catonsville, May 18th at Owings Mills, May 24th at Dundalk, and May 29th at Hunt Valley, individuals have an opportunity to learn about free educational opportunities at CCBC, which there's a campus near them, which is why we have the 6 locations, so that people can be enrolled on the spot. If you have a middle schooler, they might be a little young, but they can enroll in a fundamental course. If it is a high school student, they can begin to take high school courses, which starts with the ALEKS placement test, unless students are coming in with the SATs or AP. So don't be discouraged. If it is a student that is not really in their field or trade or don't know where they want to go and they want to learn about the opportunities that CCBC has to offer, whether it's from a full degree program, a certificate program, a trade program, or just an individual course, parents, bring the family. It is a free event. If you are a business owner or an entrepreneur or even a nonprofit leader or a leader of an organization, and you're trying to figure out what are ways to help reduce out-of-pocket costs, but to elevate your business and return on investment so that your employees and middle management can be positive assets to your organization, you need to show up too. So this has gone as long as I have wanted it to do. It is one of several small talks that I want to be, and then, one other group, veterans, seniors, business owners, entrepreneur, side hustlers. Professional development is expensive. And often people don't get out of it what they want because it's not of an interest for them. However, if you know of a senior or a veteran, or if you're a business owner, or you're thinking about starting a business, or there's an area that you're lacking in, if you are an individual or a parent with a student that has a disability, there are services at the local community college that will help navigate and close those gaps. I need you to go right now, click the link below this video, and register for our Randallstown location on April 27th, May 4th, Essex, May 11th, Catonsville, May 18th, Owings Mills, May 24th, Dundalk, or May 29th at Hunt Valley, to ensure that you're getting the information that you need to understand what CCBC has to offer and come ready to register. So the one thing I can tell you, if you are an adult, let's say 24 and older, you need to bring your taxes, most recently filed taxes, ID, meaning driver's license or whatever else they give out if you don't get a license, whether it's a provisional ID or whatever the case might be, any stubs you might have, or literally just go to ccbc.edu and look up the criteria for enrollment. And on each one, at any location that you decide to show up that day, because this is just one of the outstanding workshops that we have on board for that day, come to be ready to register so that you can help yourself, to help your community, to help your family break whatever it is that has a current hold on you. So what we're going to do is now to remove those variables that's holding people back. But the Blueprint Development and Poverty Townhall Tour is only as good as it's if you show up. And again, change the word from poverty to struggling, from struggling to broke, from broke to limited, from limited to lack of access, from lack of access to whatever. And be ready to show up. We are there from 9 a.m. It's free. We're taking away the barrier. We're taking away all of the things that can prohibit you from not being successful. The Blueprint Development and Poverty Townhall Tour is important because it's focused on you. It gives you an opportunity for you to advocate, and it's giving you tools to be successful. That's a win-win to me at the end of the day. Again, my name is Dr. Takima Dorsey, the founder of the Blueprint Development and Poverty Townhall Tour, as well as the Breaking the Cycle of Poverty in Baltimore City, Baltimore County, and in the state of Maryland for 2024. The Blueprint Development and Townhall Tour, in partnership with CCBC of Baltimore County, is the second major initiative of this year, where we're bringing this initiative through all 6 campuses, and the only thing we're missing is you. So go right now and register, bring a friend, sharing your network, and let's take away the excuses as to why your 2024 may not be better and brighter than it has been in 2023. So until next time, have a great day.